interested in it.
Send it to us by email or send it to us by snail mail, just so that we can, I don't think some people saw it the first time.
I think just one board member.
Okay, so I'd like all the board members to see it so they can have an opinion if that will suffice or if they want something else. That is my suggestion. We don't have to do it. So what is the board's pleasure regarding this policy? Wait till next time?
I think we need to wait till to make the final adoption until next time.
And what is it that you're looking for me to bring back? We do have the language here. I just want to be sure that I meet your need.
I'm looking for you to bring back a little more information about the monthly travel expenses.
The procedures that they would write to
No,
do it, or
just what they might look like before, for the next 2 years, whatever, before we get electronic that tells us who went where, when, why, and how much it cost.
well, I think we're hoping we can get something sooner than 2 years.
And I'll just say this, and go ahead.
I'm sorry. What we had offered for those that are interested is to either visit the chancellor's office or our conference room, and we can pull whatever you might want so that you could go through them.
In the meantime,
And
that's great.
did that a few years ago. And so it would
Quite
be
a few.
an exercise because we, like I said, we're pulling from all different sources. But you're more than welcome, and we can pull the stack like our controller pulled, and you can come in and spend as much time as you like, and then we could respond to questions or, that. I think that might be a way to resolve for those that really want to look at each one. Now, I've heard that Trustee Garrett doesn't want to look at all those and see all that report. I don't know about the rest of you, but we will certainly offer it to those who would like to come in, and we'll provide the conference room, and you can go through all the details.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, how about this? We postpone it till next month. You provide us the language in writing so that everyone can look at it. And do you think before the next meeting, Henry, your office could give us copies of the out-of-state travel? I don't know how hard that.
Yes.
We certainly can do that. The staff in my office have already started this project.
And there are not that many, right?
This is only limited to just out of state.
Right, I know. So why don't we ask Connie to bring back just a written copy of the language, and we'll give a month for those people who want to come in and look at it and who want to look at the copy of what you're going to send out by snail mail or email to see if that, with the explanation of what it is. So no more work for you and only work for that push the button. Okay, and possibly it is, we could, if some people come in to look at the pulled stack of travel, that would be the only other work for your department.
Well, that does take time to pull all that, as you might
But
imagine.
what you brought, is that still pulled?
Pardon me?
What was brought to the policy committee meeting, is that still pulled?
Sarah left.
Okay, well, don't unpull it. Okay,
This is the second time we pulled it, so we won't.
okay, so leave it that way, and so it'll be the responsibility of any board members who want to see that to make those arrangements through Dr. Young, or Henry.
If I could just make a comment, because I'm kind of looking out in the audience and the perplexed and looks of horror across some of, I know, my staff's faces who go to major conferences about Ellucian in very big places. Like this district sent IT, HR, payroll, and finance staff to Orlando, Florida for an Ellucian conference. Now and I know they're probably thinking, oh, they're thinking I'm out at Disney World all day. But these conferences are huge, and they're hours and hours. They start at 8 in the morning or sometimes 7 a.m. with breakfast sessions, and they don't roll back into the hotel rooms until 11 and sometimes 12 at night because they are on the go constantly, getting all the updates and going to all the sessions. They're not out playing at Disney World, or we had to go to Colorado a couple years ago. Nobody was skiing. So
that's not what we think.
that's great, and
Because we don't know they've been to Florida.
and
We don't know they've been to
And I'm really
Colorado
glad to
because
hear you
nobody
say
tells
that,
us
because
anything.
I'm just telling you, when a board asks for information about out-of-state travel, an employee's immediate reaction is, well, what? They think I'm out messing around when I'm out of state, or what's, they're going to Las Vegas, they're going to Colorado, they're going to Orlando, Florida. But I just want you all to know that as managers, we check in with our people and they're working hard at these conferences. These are no paid vacations. So I just want you to keep that lens as you're going through some of the locations. Because as a board member, if I came in and sat down in Teresa's office and went through the binder, I go, Orlando, Telluride, yeah, New York City, wow. And that's not what our people do. I just want to make sure that you have that lens when you go through them.
Well, how many conferences are in Escalon? I mean, I expect them to be in good places. And I actually helped put on conferences. So I understand very well how valuable they are. And I appreciate them. But we just have no idea what's out there. We're just trying to get a feel for it. So that's it.
I actually thought you were going to say you're looking out at the audience and they're falling asleep, so hurry up, Ann. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Chair DiMartini,
I was speaking for me.
I normally wouldn't do this, but I need to go. My sister has a retirement party tonight, and I didn't want you to think it was sour grapes.
Okay, well, good.
Congratulations
Fun.
to your sister.
Yeah. Okay, Graciela?
So I just want to make a point of clarification.
Yes.
The motion that was made, it was just that the board add language to policy 7400 travel, and that's what was accepted. Not that that policy was accepted. Is
Correct.
that correct? Okay. Thank you.
And it was, and we need to postpone till next time the whistleblower policy because we need more legal clarification.
We haven't talked about that one yet, I don't think.
I thought that was decision of the, okay, suggestion from the committee.
Recommendation.
Okay, go ahead and talk about it then.
Thank you. And I do that only because we make sure that we provide all of the information to the full board. And
Right.
that keeps me honest, especially when I'm going back to the policy committee and I'm assuring them that I am being true and honoring our process. So whistleblower protection came up in our last board meeting here, and the full board, I read the statement to the board with a commitment to fairness and request for all board member, or for all members of the YCCD community. Language was proposed by Trustee DiMartini with the intent to provide due process rights for accused in BP 7700. The Board Policy Committee understood that this had been a topic of discussion previously and therefore sought the board's full direction to engage legal counsel to obtain an objective second legal opinion in this matter. We did go out and do that. I sent that specific statement that I read to the board last month, along with Trustee DiMartini's recommendations on language. I sent that to a second legal opinion, a second attorney who we have not used in the past. That attorney did provide a legal opinion and analysis, and I'll just read 2 lines. Given that the YCCD policies and procedures and collective bargaining agreements are in compliance with constitutional due process requirements, it would be redundant to add protections that already exist in YCCD's policies, procedures, and labor agreements. And secondly, the whistleblower statute is specifically drafted to prevent retaliation against an employee. And so just to provide that information to the board, should you wish to add the language that was requested, it would not be in alignment with what legal counsel has advised, the second opinion. So I wanted to provide that information, but also to say that the whistleblower policy is really narrowly focused. And so what we talked about in the committee is, while it may not belong in this policy necessarily, as provided by that council, it seems like it was a greater conversation that needs to take place for board members. And so we talked about having that second person come in, the legal counsel come in, and having that person talk with either the policy committee group, or if the full board thought that they could benefit from that discussion, bringing that forward to the full board as a board study session or whatever, you all decide to do. So that is what we discussed. And so we're looking for direction on that. And also, if you choose to pull this whistleblower policy, that, of course, is your right to do.
Well, what you presented was part of what we discussed, but there was a lot more that was discussed, and we have public comments. And I do feel appreciative of everyone that came out tonight, and I do not wish to have you have to sit and listen to this nitty-gritty, so I think it'd be much wiser to work this out next month. You've said we're up to date on our policies. We're not going to get behind by postponing this a month. That's my suggestion.
I agree with that.
Is there anyone who objects to postponing this for next month? All right, then let's postpone it and let's go on to 7.2, Personnel Negotiations, California School Employees Association.
Thank you, Chair DeMartini and board members. So as Debbie had,
Sorry, we didn't get a vote on the other policy approvals.
oh, you're right.
We
I'm
didn't
sorry,
take a-
what?
We didn't take a vote on the other second reads. So I imagine
Oh,
we
okay.
need a vote still on the other second reads, pulling staff travel and pulling whistleblower.
So I'll make a motion that we adopt all of the board policy second readings with the exception of 7,400 staff travel and 7,700 whistleblower protection.
Move to approve.
Okay, thank you. It's been moved by Darren Garrett, seconded by John Rodriguez, that we approve all of the presented second readings except for staff travel and whistleblower protection. And thank you, Connie, for pointing that out. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Okay, motion is carried. Let's now go on to 7.2, Personnel Negotiations, CSEA.
Okay, first up is the California School Employees Association agreement with the Yosemite Community College District as outlined in the tentative agreement. Really quickly, though, I'd just like to take a moment and acknowledge the hard work of the team on both sides of the table. We have, I think, a pretty darn good process here. We do a lot of collaboration with respect to language, interests, and putting it up on the big screen and redlining and hammering it out together. So I see most of them seated in the back row. If you were on the team at either side of the table, if you could stand up and be acknowledged, please. Thank you. So, and that group worked under the leadership of Catherine Pritchard out of my office with help from David Moreno, one of our labor attorneys. So we've reached this agreement with language and the district package and submit that for your approval.
A motion would be in order to approve the attached tentative agreement with CSEA. Okay, thank you. Abe Rojas has moved to adopt, and
I'll second it.
okay, and Darren Garrett has seconded it. All those in favor,
And I just want to make a comment here.
forgive me.
Gina, thank you to your staff. Thank you to CSEA Chapter 420 for collectively working together. I know as Gina was updating us, both sides worked very hard in coming to resolution on a lot of outstanding cleanup language. So I want to thank both sides for doing that. Having done collective bargaining on both sides of the table as a union president and then on management, these are very difficult. But one thing that's absent here, and I know it's not part of the agreement, but everybody knew I was going to say this. I think it's important to recognize sometimes hard work, and I wish retroactivity was part of this agreement, but it's not. But I will be voting in favor of it tonight. So those are my comments.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Motion has carried. Now we will move on to personnel meet and confer, the Leadership Team Advisory Council.
So same terms and conditions, basically the 2% package, and Yolanda did a very nice job of outlining the agreement in her report, and she did note, and I just want to make sure that it's noted in the record, that the LTAC team continues to diligently work on the performance evaluation process. And that tool has improved greatly, but there's always room for improvement, especially with the goal setting. And they have a great leadership group or executive team that's working on those changes as we speak, and that'll be an ongoing effort. So that's what we submit for your approval.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve this? Okay, it's been moved by Darren Garrett and seconded by,
I'll second it.
thank you, by Abe Rojas. Any comments? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say no. Motion has carried. We are now to 8 point for board comments. Why don't we John, can we just start with you and go down the line? Thank you.
So I attended the Summer Sonata last month.
Mm-hmm.
It was, what was the theme? Great Gatsby or the 1920s? Okay. Yeah, it was a nice event. I enjoyed myself.
Well, one thing I want to tell you about the Summer Sonata, that's been the name for years. I had one person, I said, you really ought to go to the Summer Sonata, someone who's a supporter who will remain nameless. And he said, I don't like that kind of music. Lynn?
I attended the policy and procedure meeting, attended the foundation meeting for Columbia College, and attended the study session for the Chancellor evaluation priorities.
Thank you. Darren?
So first and foremost, I too attended the Summer Sonata, and I want to thank the representation of MJC who was there. And if I leave somebody out, I apologize, but Jill was there. Jennifer, you were there. James Todd was there, and Jill helped me out. Who else was sitting at your table? I know I'm forgetting another member of management that was there. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, it was Michelle, who was also from CSU. Okay, but great support and your donations to the cause. Thank you all very much. It was a great event. Let's see, we had a few board study sessions, some two finance committee meetings that I reported out on earlier. I attended some National Night Out events on the first Tuesday of August, so just last week. And for now, I'll take a pass card because my memory's failing me, so that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I'll go next. Summer Sonata, the study session where we established the goals of the chancellor, and those are listed in the minutes, and the board suggested several goals, and we had Henry suggest goals, and the ones that we decided on was a combination, and so it's kind of exciting for me to share what the board is looking for to evaluate our chancellor on for his 6-month and 1-year evaluation. So if you're interested, check out those minutes. And I had a Great Valley Museum Board meeting, policy and procedure meeting, and various meetings with Henry. Okay, let's move to Leslie.
Okay, so I attended the Summer Sonata at Greens on 10th. It was great, like everybody said. I attended the July 31st study session to set goals for our new chancellor. That was good. I attended the Solar Eclipse and Wild Planet Day last Friday, the Science Night. They're held the first Friday of every month, and they're a great example of MJC putting the community in community college. The place was full of happy kids, astronomy club students interacting with them, astronomy buffs who were really bummed that it was cloudy that night and they couldn't see anything. Families watching planetarium shows. There was a bee pollination exhibit from the almond board. So it was just wonderful. And while we were there, because it was raining, we drove around to the back. Usually I just walk from this parking lot. And it was beautiful. It's all landscaped. I hadn't been back there. It looks great. And there's like a new roundabout. So whoever does the landscaping, it's awesome. So I also attended the policies and procedures meeting on Monday at 12:30. I held my usual Donuts and Dialogue confab on Monday the 7th, and I just really enjoyed the conversations with all who dropped in. As always, I learn a lot, and I appreciate the opportunity to get to know people and hear their unique perspectives in a casual setting and not something like this that's scary. I've really enjoyed getting to know Chancellor Young better this month, and I'm so pleased that he's attending our committee meetings and helping us find answers to questions and concerns that we have or have been brought to us by others. As far as future, I am requesting again a copy of the Farilli contract, and I also had requested current and past organizational charts for administration management for comparison purposes. And it would be great if I could get those before the next board meeting. Thank you very much.
Okay, Don?
I attended a board study session, and I attended a finance committee meeting.
Thank you. Abe?
I attended the study session also and two of the Finance Committee board meetings. And I attended the Stanislaus County School Board Association trustees. And they are planning a dinner, I think in September, where, most of the information there is usually for K-12 schools. But the topic they have chosen is cyberbullying, and I think that would be of interest to all of us. So whenever the information comes out, I hope you plan to attend. And I did attend a couple of funeral services for our trustee and one of our employees. So that was it.
Okay, thank you. I have one last announcement for the trustees. Trustee Viss has informed me that he's no longer going to be able to continue as our board representative for the MJC Foundation Board. And so it's my understanding, I know Teresa had to leave, but it's my understanding from the auditors that because of the relationship, we need to have one of our board members serve on that foundation. And that's correct? Right. Thank you, Jill. So Lynn's already on the Columbia College Foundation, and I'm already on the Great Valley Museum Foundation, and Don has just resigned. He liked it, but he's in a situation where he needs more time. So that means there are 4 people left. So please think about it and let me know if you have.
Make a motion to nominate John Rodriguez to the MJC Foundation Board. Sorry, John, that's how it's done.
no, don't
That's how
nominate
it's done in business, right? Do I have a second on that?
I'll second that motion.
I have so many things to
We have a
do.
first and a second.
I believe that it would be inappropriate because this particular item was not agendized.
I know, but
So if you.
it's late and I'm in the-
Okay, all right. Okay, but I know that there was a concern expressed that there is a financial responsibility, but I talked with George about that, and it's sort of like you can either donate or get someone else to donate. If you know other people that you can bring in the community, who've had a relationship from MJC, you may know people that went to MJC would be interested in donating. Sometimes all you have to do is ask people, Okay, so if someone's just willing to go to the meetings, that would be fine. That would help a lot in helping these 4 people decide which one of them. And if it comes down to it, we'll draw straws or something. I'll give you a month to think about it, though.
You'll have that on the agenda.
And the
Got it.
straws.
And the straws, in case you decline. Well, again, thank you for those who stayed to the bitter end. Our next meeting is on September 13th, and it was a pleasure to see your family here tonight. Thank you, and I know they had to leave because, what time does their school start? Do you know? 7:30.
Oh my
Ooh,
gosh.
wow. So thank you for coming, and this meeting is adjourned.